Talk about a crusher. Yes! Oh!
Are you kidding me?
And gone!
Welcome back to the Score Sports Podcast. On this is Podcast Lane Frank. Now episode 81. So 81 episodes through, and I got action-packed episode planned for you. NBA Finals are set. Golden State Warriors versus the Boston Celtics. Golden State Warriors defeating the Dallas Mavericks. Boston Celtics defeating the Miami Heat. MLB's rolling right now. Teams are leading, entering the All-Star break. So much going on right now in the NBA. So much more. Stay tuned for this action-packed episode 81. Let's hop into it. Let's start with episode 81, how we always do with the headlines in the NBA. Darvin Ham has been hired by the Los Angeles Lakers. Everybody, this is an interesting decision right here. It's a 4-year deal, which I think they probably should have given him 2 or 3 years, but it's the first time head coach Darvin Ham. A little bit of an interesting thing right here. A couple of pictures going viral right now of Darvin Ham guarding LeBron as a rookie. Just shows LeBron James' longevity, but just wild stuff right here. Darvin Ham getting hired by the Los Angeles Lakers, but we know who the real head coach of that team is. We know who the real leader of that team is, LeBron James, everybody. So just wild stuff going on right now with the Los Angeles Lakers. But let's talk about a team who's still in the NBA playoffs, still has a chance to win the NBA championship, unlike the Los Angeles Lakers. The Golden State Warriors defeated the Dallas Mavericks pretty easily, 4-5 games. Just a really easy series for them. For the Boston Celtics, that was one entertaining series, everybody. We finally got an entertaining Game 7 series, everybody. Game 7, Mavericks did not entertain at all. Game 7, Boston Celtics versus Milwaukee Bucks is not entertaining at all. But this Game 7, Boston Celtics, Miami, Jimmy Butler takes a legacy shot, and he misses. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think Jimmy Butler should have just pulled for a mid-range, gone for a layup, gone and one? You never know. What do you think about that? Do you think Jimmy Butler took the right shot? He's the best player on that team. He's a top 5 player in the NBA, you could argue. If he makes that shot, yeah, he's probably considered a top 3 player in the NBA, if not the best player in the NBA over Giannis Antetokounmpo. With a lot of statement right there, but if he makes the NBA Finals, he makes that shot. He's a legend. Legend. Miami Heat history, for sure. Jimmy Butler's still a great player. Made the NBA Finals for them in 2020. Had a great season. But Kyle Lowry's upset. He says, no, it's a waste of the season, But let's talk about Golden State Warriors, Boston Celtics here for a second. It's going to be an amazing series. I'm going to preview it in top 5. I'm going to preview it. I'm going to give my NBA Finals pick and at the buzzer. So much more. Stay tuned. But what a series that was. Let's move to the MLB where we have a bunch of news. Mets are rolling, everybody. I went to the New York Mets game against the Philadelphia Phillies Sunday Night Baseball. Nick Plummer gets a huge home run in the 9th inning, first career hit in the 9th inning to tie the game. I mean, what a sequence that was. Then Eduardo Escobar in the 10th inning gets an RBI double to win the game, walking it off, sending Starling Marte home, sending all the Mets fans home, everybody. What an amazing thing that was right there for the New York Mets. New York Mets rolling right now after a sweep over the Phillies, and a dominant win their night over the Washington Nationals. Now, another player who's tearing things up right now is Mookie Betts, everybody. Mookie Betts, the best month of his career, if not the best month in baseball history, past 20 years, you could say. Most home runs in Mookie Betts' career for a month. Most RBIs, most hits, second most runs, just tearing things up right now. Mookie Betts, an amazing player, could be running with NL MVP. I want it to be Francisco Lindor, and I want it to be Pete Alonso. Pete Alonso's second most RBIs in MLB, and Francisco Lindor, an 8-game RBI streak, one of the most ever by a shortstop, most ever by a Mets player, consecutive RBI streak. Just crazy stuff right there. Mets tearing things up right now. Now, another player who's not tearing things up right now is Juan Soto, everybody. Juan Soto is struggling right now. The rumors are still circulating. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that later. I know we talked about it last week. Juan Soto rumors still rolling around. Everybody's wild stuff right here. Leave your thoughts on that. Do you think Juan Soto will get things figured out? Leave your thoughts on that in the comment section. But another player who's also heating up is Julio Rodriguez, everybody. Julio Rodriguez is a rookie. I mean, ever since that Mets series, everybody, he's just been tearing things up. Had his first career home run against the Marlins last month. Now just doing amazing for the Seattle Mariners, everybody. They've done great with their rookies. I know Jared Kelenic was a bit of a bust, but Julio Rodriguez tearing things up right now. That most stolen bases in MLB. Could be the second rookie ever to have the most stolen bases behind Mike Trout, obviously. Mike Trout, in his rookie season, had the most stolen bases in MLB as an outfielder. Just a lot of stuff right there. That's about for the headlines this week. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. So, my favorite of the week this week is the New York Mets game I went to, everybody, against the Philadelphia Phillies, trying to close out sweep. Mets hadn't had sweep all the season long. They've had a great season, but they hadn't had a sweep yet. They got the sweep on Sunday Night Baseball against Philadelphia Phillies. What a whirlwind of a game that was. Okay, let's start out from the way top. You got Chris Bassett versus Zach Wheeler. Yes, Zach Wheeler, who I do not like. left the New York Mets in 2019. Not a fan favorite at all amongst Mets fans. He's not tear things up ever since he left the Mets, but the Mets did pretty much bring him up through the minors and everything like that. I'm going to credit the Mets for his success so far. Not the Phillies, not Joe Girardi, but he struggled a little bit to start out the game. Chris Bassett got through easy in the first inning, but Zach Wheeler, not so much. By a couple of errors in the infield, outfield, just not a great outfield at all for the Philadelphia Phillies. Not showing the first pitch of the game. Luis Guillorme drives a double off. Zach Wheeler could have got Kyle Schwarber, maybe could have got to if it was a better fielder out there, but no, there wasn't. It was Kyle Schwarber, everybody. So Luis Guillorme gets a stand-up double right there. Then New York Mets driving 3 more runs that inning. Zach Wheeler only responsible for 1 of them. A couple errors. Johan Camargo got a bad double play opportunity right there. Just got his foot off the base. A couple bad opportunities there for the Philadelphia Phillies. Zach Wheeler had a lot of pitches, even though only 1 run was earned. He wasn't pitching that great in the first inning. Then he settled down a little bit, settled into the game, did not give up a run for the rest of the game, only 1 run. Zach Wheeler getting his ERA down. He had a terrible start to the season. Now he's doing well with his ERA. So Zach Wheeler tearing things up right now for the Philadelphia Phillies, but not exactly producing. Starling Marte got a quick triple there later in the game. Really up until the 7th inning, really no offense between either team. But things really did settle down there until 7th inning. Chris Bassett gave up a quick run there with the bases loaded, but then got a double play, so we're all good there. But scores 3-1, 2 runners on base. Nick Castellanos is up after Drew Smith got hurt. Joely Rodriguez comes in. Joely Rodriguez pitched pretty good game. But they said, no, let's take Joely Rodriguez out. Let's put in Adam Ottavino. Adam Ottavino throws him a fastball down the middle, and Nick Castellanos just crushes it for a home run straight to left field. I mean, that was just bad stuff right there. Overlooking all our outfielders' heads, overlooking Nick Plummer's head. Just bad thing right there. But Nick Castellanos does get 3 on home run when it seemed like they had no offense at all, no life at all. The Phillies in that game. Now they have a 1-run lead, 4-3 Phillies right now. Mets had a terrible bomb of the 8th inning. Now, top of the 9th inning, just Steve Nagosic comes in right there. Second appearance with the New York Mets. Shuts things down there in the top of the 9th inning. Bomb of the 9th inning. Nick Plummer's up at bat right now. By Nick Plummer. First career start in MLB. 2015, first round pick. Really wasn't great in the minors. Cardinals released him. Mets said, hey, let's pick him up. He had a good season in the minors last year. So they picked him up. Had a good season so far this season in the minors. So the Mets called him up. First career start for Nick Plummer. He's 0-for-3 so far up into the game. What does he do? Drives one. First pitch off Corey Knebel. Corey Knebel has struggled so much in the New York Mets this season. Gave up that 7-run comeback. Couldn't close things out. Couldn't get the save. I think he came in when it was 8-5 and just couldn't load things down right there. But now comes in for this situation. Get another save. First pitch. Boom. Home run, Nick Plummer. First career hit, first career home run into the goal succession. I mean, Corey Knebel is not a good player, but gave up a home run the other day in the 9th inning against the San Francisco Giants. So just not a great player at all, Corey Knebel. But Nick Plummer crushes one off of him to tie the game. Not really much happened after that. A lot of Mets fans were saying, hey, why are we keeping Nick Plummer into this game? Why are we pitching Jeff McNeil for Patrick Muzica instead of Jeff McNeil for Nick Plummer? Well, I was thinking that too, but then I see Nick Plummer just drive one. I'm so happy, everybody. Nick Plummer, congratulations, hits a home run. The next thing, it's the Washington Nationals, but things just go crazy there. Edwin Diaz gets the crowd hyped up right there, coming into the top of the 10th inning, just gets things down, loads them up. I mean, every pitch strikeout. So just Edwin Diaz did great right there. I mean, has done so great against the Phillies this season. Had the no-hitter against them, closed out no-hitter right there against them on all strikeouts, struck on the side right there, and just shuts them down right here. Now, bottom of the 9th inning, Starling Marte on second base, Francisco Lindor strikes out. Who comes up? Eduardo Escobar. First pitch he sees, drives one into right field. Roman Quinn can't get to it. Boom! Mets win. What a Mets game that was. That's my favorite of the week. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Now, top 5, everybody. This week's top 5 is top 5 things that led the Boston Celtics and Golden State Warriors here to the NBA Finals. Let's all admit it. Number 5, the resurgence of Draymond Green, everybody. Draymond Green is a terrible player. I gave Draymond Green the award. Welcome back to basketball, Draymond Green. Finally doing well. But Draymond Green has played so great this season. This has been X factor for this Golden State Warriors team. I mean, Draymond Green's a Michigan State guy. Don't always love him. But Draymond Green is a great player. He's great in the media. He's great off the court. And he's great on the court right now. Draymond Green, one of the biggest reasons why the Golden State Warriors are in the NBA Finals right now. Number 4, Marcus Smart's defense, everybody. Marcus Smart won Defensive Player of the Year. If I told you before the season, Marcus Smart's going to win Defensive Player of the Year, I said, get out of here. Guard can't win Defensive Player of the Year, especially not Marcus Smart. But he did. Marcus Smart wins Defensive Player of the Year. 4th best reason. Marcus Smart wins Defensive Player of the Year. Number 3, the youth of the Golden State Warriors, everybody. You got Jordan Poole. You got Jonathan Kuminga. You got Clavon Looney. You got Moses Moody. This is a good team, everybody. Andrew Wiggins mixed in there. So you could say they're an old team because they have Steph, they have Clay, and they have Draymond Green. But all those guys, this is a pretty young team when you look at it. So the youth of this team has led them here. The speed of those guys, Jordan Poole being that X factor, my Michigan guy, Moses Moody, steal for them. Jonathan Kuminga, a steal and good trade bait for them if they want to go after a superstar. Could be the best piece of trade bait this offseason, which I'm going to talk about later in the episode. But youth of the Warriors, number 3. Number 2, Klay Thompson's comeback here. But Klay Thompson, wow. I mean, his first game against the Cleveland Cavaliers, just dominating in that game. And then Game 6, Klay against Memphis Grizzlies. That was his signature moment right there, in my opinion. Everybody. Klay Thompson's comeback, the second biggest reason why Golden State Warriors are in the NBA Finals right now. And now, number 1, the biggest reason why the Boston Celtics are in the NBA Finals right now is Ime Udoka, everybody. Wow, just wow. Comes in from the Brooklyn Nets, brings all of his strategy over there, all his strategy learned from Greg Popovich. All the narrative all year was Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown can't play together. This is a below 500 average team entering January. And then they go into end of the season, 1 game out of the first place in the Eastern Conference, making the NBA Finals. Just wild stuff right there. Ime Udoka, hate to say, but he's a better coach than Brad Stevens, everybody. This is wild stuff right here. Ime Udoka is a mastermind. Should have won Coach of the Year, in my opinion. Just amazing stuff right here. Best reason why Boston Celtics are in the NBA Finals. And those are the top 5 reasons why these 2 teams are in the NBA Finals. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. We're back, Sports fans, another great interview. I got standout Phillies catcher Garrett Stubbs right here. All right, Garrett, thanks for joining us. Great seeing you the other night, the Phillies game. Thank you for taking time out of your off day to join us.
Yeah, thanks, Lane. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure. So first question I got for you right here. So you obviously got traded this offseason, Astros to Phillies. What's been the biggest difference between Houston, Philadelphia, and then just Astros, Phillies, organization, anything like that?
Well, for one, just being on the East Coast, being from San Diego, personally being over on the East Coast has been a little bit different. Playing a lot of new teams coming from the American League over to the National League. So there's a lot of players that I haven't necessarily faced as far as pitching goes. And then as far as hitting goes, or facing opposing hitters, it's been a little bit different going over reports. But the team and organization as a whole, the Houston organization was awesome. You know, whether it was treating my family well or us players, same goes for the Phillies, you know, coming over here and being under the umbrella of Dave Dombrowski and Sam Fold. They've done a tremendous job signing players. Of course, you know, we see some big names in our lineup every single day, staff as well. So both teams with a huge desire to win, which, you know, can't be said for across the entire league at times. So to be able to come into an organization that wants to win, you know, it was a seamless transition for me. So it's been fun.
Yeah, obviously a lot of different pitching, and then at least you got the Marlins, that stacked rotation. Mets, great rotation. Nationals got some pitching. What's been the adjustment to that, just facing great pitchers, and then at least?
Yeah, you know, coming from the AL West, we were facing guys, you know, on a daily basis, basically with great pitching. Anywhere from Oakland with Bassett, who's now with the station, Montas on the A's, Naya on the A's facing him, who's now on the Padres. But now coming to the NL East, you know, similar vibes as far as really great pitching, you know, going over to the Mets and facing Bassett, Carrasco, and all those guys. It's a huge preparation before every game to get ready for guys like that. So coming from the AL West, where we were facing really good pitching, and now the NL East, it's been a transition as far as new guys, besides the Bassett that I just mentioned with the Mets. But the preparation stays the same, and it's been a lot of fun, you know, facing that kind of high level performing players is a challenge, and it makes it fun.
Yeah, for me as a Mets fan, I'm happy to have all those guys, DeGrom, Bassett, Scherzer. Let's switch over to something right here. I know you won the Johnny Bench Award in college for best catcher. What was that like, just winning it your last year, just getting the best catcher in the nation award?
Yeah, so defense has definitely been the priority for me most of my career. So my senior year, came back to school to graduate, get my degree at USC, obviously while playing baseball and hoping to get an opportunity to play professionally. So our goal at USC was always to make a regional. We hadn't done it in a decade. We had a really good team. And so that year went out and just tried to win every single baseball game and ended up winning. I can't remember our record, but we won more than 30 games that year, which was the best we've done in quite some time. I think a little bit over a decade. So on top of that, to be able to win an individual accolade like the Johnny Bench Award, something really special for me. My family was more than ecstatic to be able to go to that award ceremony. Got to meet Johnny Bench, who I still stay connected with to this day. In fact, thinking about that reminds me I'm going to give him a phone call right after this and see what he's been up to and catch up with him. But be able to have a mentor like that and win his award, it's been really, really fun. That year was special for so many reasons. So to top it off with an award like that was special.
Yeah, for the viewers at home, Johnny Bench, obviously one of the greatest catchers, MLB history, baseball history, whatever it might be.
Yeah, no doubt.
Let's stay in college here for a second. I remember you telling me one time that when you guys played Fresno State, Aaron Judge, one of the best hitters in baseball, gave you concussion sliding into home plate. Can you talk about that for a second?
Yeah, playing Fresno State, I can't remember what the score was or anything like that. Maybe because I got concussed.
Probably.
Yeah, so we were up at Fresno State, and at the time, Judge was a name, but maybe not one of the biggest names in baseball. So when we were up there playing, obviously, this behemoth of a human avatar.
A giant,
and,
6'8".
Yeah, up to the plate. I think he had hit a double, and the guy after him hits a single to right field. Judge comes around third. Throw comes up the line a little bit. I go for the ball, and Aaron Judge knee straight to the head. Didn't get knocked out, but obviously the size of a human like that coming into smaller stature of myself, I'd lost that battle and ended up getting out with a concussion.
Yeah, if that's a normal play, you're probably not getting a concussion, but Aaron Judge is like 6'8", 250. He's like, I mean, when he robbed Ohtani's home run the other night, he didn't have to jump. It's just like,
yeah,
Aaron Judge's he's tearing things up right now. Yeah, let's go back to the MLB here for a second. So obviously you're on the Phillies now. Joe Girardi's your manager, former catcher. What's his influence been on you as being a catcher?
Well, being able to come from a manager, AJ Hinch, who was a former catcher, obviously transitioned over to Dusty Baker. And now going back to having a catcher as a manager, having a catcher who's your manager, they demand a lot of you, having been at that position. And luckily, someone like myself and someone like JT, we demand a lot of ourselves, whether it be for the pitching staff or other things that go on throughout the game, and making sure that we know what's going on at every moment. We're the captain of the team when we're out there on that field. So having Joe Girardi, World Series champion, I believe both as a player and a manager with the Yankees.
Yep.
He knows what it's like to win. He knows how to win. And, even though our team has had a little bit of a skid here in the first couple months, he knows exactly the way to get us back on that winning track. And we plan on doing that here real soon.
Yeah, you guys will figure it out for sure. Girardi just had success with the Yankees, now having success now. You guys got too many good bats. Yeah,
no doubt. And, I look forward to winning a few ball games here soon for him.
Yeah, as a Mets fan, that'll be tough when you guys start winning ball games, but yeah, for sure. I mean, people don't talk about the catcher position as much. You guys control the field, you control the pitches, probably one of the most underrated positions in sports, I'd say.
Yeah, defensively, definitely the most important position on the field, besides definitely a different dynamic of the game out on the mound. So as far as defense goes, I would say the most premier defensive position on the field at all times.
Yeah, I know you've had to face a lot of tough pitchers, but who's the best pitcher you've ever had to catch for? I know you've caught for Verlander, Garrett Cole, somebody in college.
Yeah, I never got to catch Justin Verlander in a game, so I'm not going to say JV. And even so, Garrett Cole, getting to catch him, the preparation that he does before the game, knowing the opposing team, and demanding a lot out of himself, but also out of his catcher as far as scouting reports go, being able to present pitches well. He's one that is a person who pays attention to detail to the utmost fact. So getting to catch him, watching his stuff, attacking hitters, I don't think he gets much better than Garrett Cole. Very fortunate to be able to have had him as a battery mate multiple times in my career. So I watch him from afar now. He's a disgusting pitcher, and he knows exactly what he wants to do to hitters, and his level of execution is elite. So I got to say Garrett Cole is probably one of the best pitchers I've caught.
Yeah, Garrett Cole, I mean, this generation could say he was a first-round pick twice, then pretty much got to the MLB in like 2 years. Garrett Cole has just been amazing for the past 10 years.
Be able to go from a staff like that into a staff like I have now with our starting rotation here in Philly. Guys like Zach Wheeler, Zach Eflin, Kyle Gibson, Aaron Nola, Ranger Suarez. I mean, those 5 names right there are elite pitchers in the league. So our starting rotation is nothing short of elite, and it's been fun to be a part of.
And at least stacked with pitchers, Marlins, you guys, Mets, everything.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Yeah, let's switch over to minors here for a second. What's it like, that grind in the minor leagues? I know you went through a bunch of minor league teams. You had 3 different AAA teams, Sugarland, Fresno, and then Round Rock. So what's that grind like in the minors?
The grind of the minor leagues, one of the biggest parts is the fact that you don't get paid very much money. You're living below for those years. And if you didn't sign for a lot of money, it's really hard to stick with it. I saw a lot of really, really good players bow out early just because they weren't able to keep up a normal life getting paid that amount of money. And it's unfortunate. I think we'd see other players in the league more often if they were paid a livable wage. Those 20th round guys, there's still a talent, whether they were first round or 20th round. Those are talented baseball players, and some of them just take a little bit longer to develop. So the minor leagues is definitely a grind. Played on 3 different teams from Fresno to Round Rock to Sugarland and AAA, all with the Houston Astros, but just switching affiliates. But I started all the way down in short season A-ball, played there for 3 weeks, got moved up to low A, started the following year in high A, finished in double A. Following year, started in double A, finished in triple A, played my entire 2018 season in triple A. And then 2019 was up and down in the big leagues and have been so since until this year, getting to start with the team and, plan on making it to that game 162 at the end.
Yeah, I mean, you've had such a great season so far, finally getting a chance to really get some decent starting time, just done great so far. What was it like in your first career home run, then going out the next week against my Mets and that 3-run bomb?
Yeah, pretty big moment in a game against the presumed or a lot of people's picks to be in or win the World Series this year. So definitely a huge series. We were down 2-0. And so to be able to put that game within 1 run and it be my first home run on top of that, didn't really think about the first home run part, I think, until I hit home plate and started to breathe a little bit again. But it was a really special moment. And then to be able to, within that week, go into New York and hit a 3-run homer to put us within 1 run again in a big game against, I believe, the best record in baseball or the second best record in baseball.
I think Yankees have highest winning percentage and then Mets are number 2.
Yeah. So to be able to hit a homer like that in a big game, a division rival, pretty awesome moment. Unfortunately, ended up losing that game. We did win the game against the Dodgers, which was awesome. But yeah, just to contribute and impact a game in any way possible, whether it be offensively or defensively, that's the goal every single time I'm out there.
And that homer against the Mets, lefty on lefty against Jason Shreve. I know it's not really good for a hitter, lefty on lefty. That was awesome right there to see.
Yeah. Left a pitch up in the zone. Certainly trying to hit a homer, but, ended up getting the good part of the bat on the good part of the ball and hit it.
Yeah, for sure. I'll leave you with this right here. Last question. What's your favorite ballpark to play in, or what do you think is the best ballpark to play in? You can't say Citizens Bank and you can't say Minute Maid.
Yeah. Well, I'm very biased towards this ballpark, but I've also asked around to other guys. I actually have two, and for different reasons. My biased opinion is Petco Park in San Diego.
Petco's awesome.
I grew up in San Diego. So for me to be able to go back to Petco, it's awesome. The playing surface there is one of the best in the entire league. And then on top of that, in the last 5 years, they've been putting together a great team over there.
Yeah.
Chargers San Diego. And so people are looking for something to root for and sports to go to. Every time I've gone there and played a game, it's been borderline sold out with a packed crowd, an absolutely electric atmosphere. People are into the Padres and they love going to the game. So going to that ballpark is really fun. It's right down there in downtown. It's a beautiful stadium. So that's my biased opinion. My unbiased opinion, and I have not been to Wrigley yet, but Fenway Park is one of the most incredible places to play.
Strangest, one of the strangest, one of the best.
The dimensions of the stadium are unlike any other. The history played there, the history of just the structure of the ballpark. And on top of that, the fans in Boston are absolutely electric. They're into every pitch. Doesn't matter. I've played there in regular season games. I've played there in playoff games. Yes, the playoff atmosphere has a little bit more edge to it, of course. But even in a regular season game, it's a packed house. The fans are into every pitch. It's just a fun place to play. And when you step out onto the field, you kind of have that nostalgic feeling of remembering all those old time players and huge baseball games, World Series games, David Ortiz home run into the bullpen. Start to remember those kinds of things when you're out there on the baseball field. So got to sign the back of the Green Monster out there, which is a cool moment. So Fenway Park's definitely up there, tied for number one, or maybe number one for me as ballparks I've played in.
That's probably the most storied stadium in all of sports, the whole world, most storied stadium by far. And I'm with you on Petco. I've been to Petco more than I've been to Citi Field. I love Petco.
Yeah, Petco is a fun park, and I haven't been there as a fan in a while, but the concession stands, I've heard the food that they have there at Petco Park is bar none. So
was there in March for the Braves game. They have upgraded the concessions for sure.
Yeah. Do a good job over there.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, Garrett. That was great. Thanks for spending time with us on the off day. Have a great season.
Schoolyard Sports, man. I appreciate you having me online.
For sure. Tearing things up. Yeah.
All right, brother.
That was my interview with Garrett Stubbs, Phillies catcher. Everybody tearing things up right now. Thank you for watching. That's my interview. Now, I didn't know, but this week's Didn't Know is, did you know a former New York Knick has been the last 70-plus NBA Finals ever? That's a wild stat right there. This year, it's Luke Cornett. Didn't know that? Leave down in the comment section. That's about for Didn't Know this week. So, let's talk about the biggest beef in all of sports this week. This month, this year, all of time, you could say. This is a wild beef going on right now. Jock Peterson, Tommy Pham. Now, for those of you who don't know the situation, Jock Peterson, Tommy Pham got a huge, there was a benches clearing brawl before the game the other night, Giants versus Reds, because Tommy Pham slapped Jock Peterson. Video showing going around everywhere, just wild stuff right there. Tommy Pham slapping Jock Peterson. Everybody's confused. Hey, why are these guys slapping each other? They've never played on the team before. They've never had a bigger altercation before. What's going on? Jock Peterson said after the game, we had a fantasy football fight. A fantasy football fight over Jeff Wilson Jr.? Yeah, because apparently Jock Peterson added Jeff Wilson Jr. to his roster after putting somebody on the IR, and Tommy Pham did not like that. He said, hey, that's not fair, even though Tommy Pham was doing the same thing at the time. And then Tommy Pham got interviewed and said, hey, this is my money. I'm very passionate about fantasy football. He's messing with my money right now, and I don't like it. And Jock Peterson shared a video to our group chat of a Padre falling down, a gif of Padres, pretty much a meme of the Padres right now, which he was on at the time, San Diego Padres, but there's a meme, Jock Peterson sent around other San Diego Padres. Jock Peterson was a Los Angeles Dodger, not a San Francisco Giant, so pretty much all Padres fans hate him, you could say. But just, really? You're going to get mad over that? You're not even on the Padres anymore right now, Tommy Pham. Tommy Pham, used to be on the St. Louis Cardinals. Then he went to the Tampa Bay Rays. Then he got traded over to San Diego Padres. Now he's on the worst team in MLB, the Cincinnati Reds. This is the weird guy you're dealing with right here, Tommy Pham. Fantasy football, you're getting mad over a rule. It's not even breaking a rule right here, adding some guy that's legal. You can change the rules if you're a league commissioner. I know the league commissioner might be probably another MLB player, but that's weird stuff right there by Tommy Pham. Maybe the full context wasn't given. Leave your thoughts on Tommy Pham, the Job Pearson situation. But I think Tommy Pham's in the wrong right here. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. So we're entering the month of June. We already did our hot takes for the month of May. Let's do our hot takes for the month of June, and then we'll be around the base right now. Let's hop into our play. The first hot take I got for you right here, I got 5 firing hot takes for you right here, is Javier Baez is not an all-star caliber player. He's not a top 15 shortstop in MLB defensive-wise or hitting-wise, and he'll never be an all-star again. Now, this is not my inner Mets fan talking right here. I do not like Javier Baez. He booed the Mets fans last year. I'm a Mets fan. He did not resign with the Mets. I take that to heart. But we got Eduardo Escobar. We got to get Starling Marte. We got Mark Canha. We even got Max Scherzer with that type of money we saved from not signing the terrible Javier Baez. Now he got double. He went 2 for 4 the other night. Who cares? He's batting 203 right now. He's having a worse start than Francisco Lindor did last year. Javier Baez, no. Not a good player. Not a good player defensively. Not a good player offensively. A terrible investment right there for AJ Hinch and the Detroit Tigers. They thought, hey, we can get the rebuild over with right here. But you still have prospects coming up. You still have Casey Mize. It's a weird situation with the Tigers right there. I'm going on right here about Javier Baez. No, not an all-star caliber player. Not a top 15 shortstop. And will be Javier Baez. No. Now, this is my next hot take right here. Jordan Alvarez, DH of the Houston Astros, is the best hitter in the American League right now this season. You can debate me on it. He hit 2 home runs yesterday for a combined 950-plus feet. That's a wild stat right there. He hit a 470-foot home run. He hit a 455-foot home run. He's a wild player right there, Jordan Alvarez. One rookie of the year in the 2019 season. Just an amazing player, Jordan Alvarez, in my opinion. Jordan Alvarez is the best pound-for-pound hitter in the AL. It's Mike Trout. It's Mike Trout. It's Mike Trout. Not this season, everybody. Mike Trout's Gary. You could say, it's Vladimir Guerrero Jr. It's Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I don't think so. Jordan Alvarez is a better hitter than Shohei Ohtani. Better DH than Shohei Ohtani. Now, Shohei Ohtani's a better overall player. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is a better overall player. Mike Trout's a better overall player. But Jordan Alvarez is the best DH in baseball, and he's the best hitter in the AL this season, in my opinion. Now, another hot take I got coming up right here about the team they beat in the AL Championship Series last year, the Boston Red Sox, everybody. The Boston Red Sox are in need of another rebuild, sadly. Now, they have a great GM, Chaim Bloom, but he's done a weird job with this team. First thing he did as GM was trade Mookie Betts. Then he gets thrown into a terrible situation with Alex Cora. So fire Alex Cora, has a terrible 2020 season, but picks Marcelo Meyer at shortstop, a number 4 overall pick. Last year's MLB draft. It's just a weird situation right here. You're probably going to have to lose Rafael Devers in free agency. But Rafael Devers is doing great right now. The Red Sox really aren't. The biggest piece of that Mookie Betts trade right there was Alex Verdugo. Alex Verdugo really isn't doing great right now. Second biggest piece was Gio Downs. Gio Downs hasn't made MLB yet. That's a little bit concerning right there if I'm a Red Sox fan. So things not going right in the Red Sox direction right now. I know they have Trevor Story, but they're probably going to lose Andrew Bogaerts. I know he's tearing things up right now, Trevor Story, but this is an older roster. You look at their lineup, it's a little bit interesting. You look at their pitching rotation, Garrett Cole and Garrett Whitlock and Tanner Hoek are a bit young. Chris Sale's pretty old. Nick Pavetta's pretty old. Nathan Eovaldi's pretty old. So just interesting stuff right there with the Boston Red Sox. I think the Boston Red Sox are in need of another rebuild, everybody, and this one might take longer. They got Blaze Jordan, who's a top prospect. He was a 3rd-round pick in the 2020 MLB draft. If he came by a year later, he would have been a 1st-round pick, if not the number 1 overall pick. So that's a steal for them right there. So I got 2 more hot takes coming for you right here. The Mets, the most clutch team in baseball now, everybody. It's official. You can't debate it. So many cutbacks have happened. 7-run cutback. Nick Plummer hits a home run to tie the game. The Cardinals cutback. Back 5 runs in the 9th inning against St. Louis Cardinals. Just wild stuff right here. Mets is the most clutch team in baseball, and I credit that all to Manager of the Year, Buck Showalter. Now, last thing. Juan Soto is the best talent in baseball if he's on a better team. You put him on the Brewers, he's the best talent in baseball. You put him on the Blue Jays, he's the best talent in baseball. You put him on the Yankees, he's the best talent in baseball. You put him on the Padres, he's the best talent in baseball. You put him on my New York Mets, he's the best talent in baseball. Juan Soto, amazing player to play. Such a great hitter. I mean, just has a great eye for the strike zone. And he's not doing great right now because he can't really draw walks. He knows that he can't draw walks, so he has to go for the fences every time, even though he's Nelson Cruz bound. This is a bad line. And Juan Soto feels the need to hit a home run, get on base, get a hit anytime. Even if he gets on base, it doesn't do that much because they can't have somebody hit right behind him, so he can't draw the walks. He can't get his singles. He has to go for the home runs, gets the flyouts, and he's striking out more now. Juan Soto having a really bad season. This happened last year. Then the Nationals did better. Juan Soto started winning MVP votes and everything like that. Juan Soto finished 2nd MVP last year. 1 point shy of 1,000 OPS. Probably not going to happen this year for Juan Soto. Just sad stuff right there for Juan Soto. Those are my 5 MLB hot takes. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Now, the NBA draft is right around the corner, but we're only a month away from the NBA draft there, but I'm going to do my first 5 picks of my NBA mock draft. Let's hop into it. Number 1 pick in the 2022 NBA draft is the Orlando Magic here, but the Orlando Magic have a very tall lineup, so they don't need Chet Holmgren, but they still take another big man. They take Jabari Smith Jr., the safest prospect in this NBA draft. Shaedon Sharpe is not a safe prospect. Chet Holmgren is not a safe prospect, even though Paolo Banchero is a pretty safe prospect, not fully there. Jabari Smith is the most safe prospect in this NBA draft class, in my opinion. And I think he's the number 1 pick. They don't need a guard. They already have Cliffney. They have RJ Hampton. They have their guards down. They have Markelle Fultz. They don't need another small forward. They already have Franz Wagner. And they keep Mo Bamba. If they keep Wendell Carter Jr., so be it. So I think they take Jabari Smith Jr. right here. Jabari Smith Jr. can stretch the floor. He can shoot the 3. He can get a rebound. He can pass the ball for you. Jabari Smith Jr. can do everything for you. Number 1 pick is going to be Jabari Smith Jr. out of Auburn. Number 2, the Oklahoma City Thunder are on the clock. And I think the Oklahoma City Thunder select Chet Holmgren, everybody. Chet Holmgren. He's a great prospect. But you know what was also picked? Number 2 overall was Kevin Durant. So he can be Kevin Durant, who's picked number 2 overall, or he can be Yashim the Beat, who was also picked number 2 overall. A little bit interesting thing right there. But Chet Holmgren, I think, does get picked right here. They have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. They have Josh Giddey. This will be a good pair with them right there. They keep both of them, keep Josh Giddey and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. That's great. But they can mix Chet Holmgren in there. That makes it even better. Chet Holmgren, that could be a big 3 right there. Chet Holmgren gets taken by the Oklahoma City Thunder right here at number 2. Number 3, the Houston Rockets select Paolo Banchero. But Paolo Banchero is just an amazing player, in my opinion. He's probably the most talented player in this draft class, but is he fully there? Can he fully lock in for a game for you right there? That's my concern with him right there. I think the Rockets don't play games right here. They take him at number 3. Number 4, Sacramento Kings are on the clock here, but Sacramento Kings can experience with this pick right here. They can experiment right here because they can take Shaedon Sharpe, they can take Jaden Ivey because they didn't really expect to have this pick, or they can take Keegan Murray because they really just shopped through the lottery. I thought they would get number 8 pick, number 7 pick. No, they got number 4. So I think they take Keegan Murray right here. Keegan Murray goes to Sacramento Kings at number 4. Now, number 5, the Detroit Pistons are on the clock. This is a perfect pick for them right here. They already have Sadiq Bey. They already have Cade Cunningham. Let's pair him up with Jaden Ivey. The next, Damian Lillard, everybody. Damian Lillard is my comp for Jaden Ivey. Jaden Ivey goes number 5 to the Detroit Pistons. That's my NBA mock draft. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Now, at the buzzer, everybody. I said I do my NBA Finals pick in at the buzzer. So let's do it right here. My NBA Finals pick, Golden State Warriors or Boston Celtics. It's going to take a little bit more of a breakdown, though. I think Boston Celtics win Game 1 in Golden State. But then Golden State strikes back, wins Game 2 behind Steph Curry, dropping a 40-piece. Now we go over to Boston. I think Golden State wins again in Game 3. Boston has struggled so far in Boston this series. So in this playoffs, they struggled. They lost 2 games in that Heat series right there in Boston. They did pretty well on the road. So I think they lose Game 3, but they come back, win Game 4, tie the series up 2-2, go over to Golden State, win another game in Golden State. Then they go back for Game 6 in Boston and close out the series for 2022 NBA champions, Boston Celtics, everybody. Boston Celtics, too big of a match for them. Golden State Warriors. You could say, oh, Al Horford's only 6'9". How tall is the Warriors' center? 6'9", Kevin Looney. Obviously, Al Horford's more experienced than Kevin Looney. I think Al Horford gets it done in the NBA Finals. Jason Tatum proves he's a top 3 player in the NBA. Jaylen Brown proves that he's an all-star. He's a superstar player, which I think he is. He's a superstar. X-Factor, Jaylen Brown. Same with Jason Tatum. That's wild stuff right there. I think the Boston Celtics take home the NBA championship. Now, Jaylen Brown, I think it was 2 years ago, did an interview and was asked, where do you think you'll be in 5 years? He's going to have 5 NBA championships. He's only going to have 1 NBA championship so far, not 5. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, get an NBA championship. What a duo this is. Younger than LeBron was when he got his first NBA championship. They can look out for right there. That's my thoughts on Boston Celtics versus Golden State Warriors NBA Finals series. I think the Boston Celtics take it home. Boston Celtics win NBA Finals. Leave thoughts in the comment section. That's about for my Finals pick. I know we don't talk very much about hockey on the show, maybe like once or twice, but I've been watching the New York Rangers playoffs so close. I've been watching every game of the New York Rangers playoffs run, and they beat the Carolina Hurricanes in Game 7, advancing over to the conference finals to play Tampa Bay Lightning. Who wins the Stanley Cup, everybody? That's just the Eastern Conference Finals. Who wins the Stanley Cup? It's going to be the New York Rangers. It's going to be the Tampa Bay Lightning or somebody else. Leave your answer in the comment section. That's how I think is going to win Stanley Cup Finals. Leave yours in the comment section. I hope it's my New York Rangers. I think it's going to be my New York Rangers. You leave your pick in the comment section. That's about for Squirt Sports Late Frank, episode 81. Thank you for tuning in. Follow Squirt Sports on Instagram at Squirt Sports. Follow Squirt Sports on Twitter at Squirt Sport. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review for the best sports content in the world.